Arsenal travel up to the Arctic Circle to take on the Norwegian champions, and after all the talk of the wind, the rain, and the artificial pitch, it was honestly much ado about nothing. We barely got out of neutral, Bodo huffed and puffed, and we wound up with the 1-0 win. Let's get into it. Good afternoon, my peoples, and welcome back to the Counterattack. I hope you and yours are doing very, very well. It's Thursday, so you know what that means. Europa League time. And I looked at the lineup this afternoon, and it really didn't matter who Arteta put out there. I expected all 3 points, but he does ring the changes from the Liverpool match. Starts for Reece, Vieira, Eddie, and Holding. Some of the second string guys getting a little bit of time out there. And like I said, I was expecting a win, nothing less. You could see from the jump what kind of game this was going to be. Not great to watch, I have to say. Lots of passing to start off the first 10 minutes. We didn't really start with the same intensity that we have grown to know and love from Mikel Arteta's tricky Reds. But there was lots of possession, lots of passing. We didn't do much with it at all, really. Bodo put in a few good passing movements, but again, like in the home match against the Emirates Stadium, they looked overmatched, especially in that final third, and they didn't really look threatening. Whenever a game isn't really going well for a team, they often try to fall back on foundations, on what they're comfortable with. And when Arsenal have trouble moving the ball through the middle, we go right back to the wings. Usually that's Martinelli and Saka. Today it was Reece Nelson. Good to see him get a start, and Saka on the right-hand side. And that's kind of where the first goal comes from. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Saka plays a 1-2 with Sambi Lakanga in the middle, and it's kind of a lucky goal. He takes a touch in the box, and it deflects off his chest and past the keeper. 1-0 to Arsenal. I mean, I'll take it, but it was kind of a bit out of nowhere. We didn't really look like we were going to score. Bodo didn't either, but 1-0 in the 24th minute, I'll absolutely take it. Outside of Saka's goal and Bodo, they had one little tricky moment where Holding, he did well defensively to sort of like change the pathway of the ball and take it out of the shooting lane of the Norwegian strikers. That was good, but honestly, I struggled to find things to say about that first half and about the match in general because a lot just didn't happen. Outside of the goal, we didn't get out of neutral. I believe that was our only shot on target for the half. Bodo, again, overmatched, especially in that final third. The final third is where you can separate the cream of the crop from the rest. And Bodo just frankly aren't the cream of the crop. They just aren't. And 1-0 going to halftime, I'm pretty pleased. We were looking a little bit light, a little bit slight in that midfield with Vieira and Sambi Lakanga. So I was really hoping that Arteta would really get into Vieira during halftime and tell him to get on the ball a lot more, help Odegaard with the creation of chances, because honestly, we were not doing too much of that. So the second half starts, and honestly, it's Bodo that started out the more dangerous of the two sides. They had two excellent chances at the start of that second half. One of them, I can't believe they didn't hit the target at least. The Bodo striker, I don't know if it was Pellegrino or Solbakken, he was 5 yards out and completely missed everything. If they want to make it out of the group, they have to take those chances. After that scare and a good save from Matt Turner on their other good chance, Arteta rings in the changes. He brings in Xhaka. I believe he brought him in for Odegaard or Nelson, but you could see that was so we can gain a little bit more control over the midfield. They were looking a little bit too comfortable, attacking us at the start of that second half. But after that, nothing much happened for about 20 or 30 minutes. It was quite a boring game. We didn't play that well. Bodo didn't have the quality to really threaten us. And that was kind of it. With 10 minutes left, it was still 1-0. And that's pretty much all she wrote. 1-0 is obviously a dangerous scoreline. And Arteta, he brought on Xhaka. He brought on Martinelli. He brought on Tomiyasu, all changes to try to gain more control over the game and really try to assert ourselves. But that was kind of the main theme tonight with Arsenal, is that we just could not assert ourselves like we did against Bodo in the home match and like we did against Liverpool. We just really couldn't grab a hold of the game. Maybe it was because of the artificial pitch. Whenever we would get into that final third, the passing was just that little bit off, just a little too sloppy. Nketiah, he couldn't really settle the ball at his feet. When Nelson was in there, his shooting was completely off. I don't know if that's rustiness or just, they just couldn't get used to the pitch. But still, 1-0. The game sort of petered out after that. 1-0 victory for the Arsenal. This is 9 points out of 9. We are top of our Europa League group, and honestly, that's where I expect us to be. When this draw was made, I looked at the other teams, and honestly, only I thought PSV could maybe, away from home, give us a good game. I don't think Bodo did too badly today, but if they want to make it out of this group, I think they would have thought they need to take at least a point off of us today, and they didn't. A little bit hard to say who was a man of the match today, because I don't think any of our outfield players really distinguished themselves out there today. Same thing for Bodo. If, gun to my head, have to give a man of the match, I'm going to give it to my fellow American, Matt Turner. He came up with a few good, one good save, because they only had one shot on target, but it was a really good save to keep the game 1-0. He's my man of the match today. Congratulations for him. He's actually has 2 clean sheets in a row. For a Europa League keeper, that's all I can really ask for. Thank you for sticking with me, my people. Please slap that like button, subscribe, and I will see you next time. I believe it is Leeds away. Take care.